Hi, it's me. Let's talk about this time lapse. This here is concept art of a minor location from my Space Western progress updates on Patreon. An ocean planet called Wale, visited quite early on in the story. I do these environmental concepts primarily for my own benefit, but sharing them is always fun. Here we have a tiny fishing boat in a vast, surreal ocean. Though the water should be the star of the show, I wanted to bring in some interesting and unusual land formations. Bubbles and hand-like structures made of minerals. By pushing out the borders of this canvas, I gained the ability to add the coolest thing ever. These towering arms reaching for the sky. As you can see, I erased it immediately and replaced it with something much less cool. The undo button only goes back so far, but I regretted that. If you turn your attention to the top of the canvas, you can see me trying to add a cloud. Okay, it's gone. I try several times over the course of this piece, but if I were Sisyphus, I think clouds would be the boulder I'm trying to push up a hill. While we're on the topic of hills, here's a hill where the hands used to be. Alright, so I'm painting some really nice leading lines here that would help guide the eye through the piece. It looks like I'm getting rid of it. Okay. Yeah, alright. I mean, while I'm in the mood, I may as well just obliterate this hill too. It stuck around for far too long. As you can see, I've already gotten started on destroying the hill. This ship crash is causing a pretty big explosion. Our protagonists are in there. They'll be fine. There we go. It's gone. Reduced to hands such as the will of Fortuna, the all-destroyer. Oy vey. Who up oin they vey. With nothing left but the memories of cooler set pieces, I called this piece finished and posted it on the Patreon. Everyone loved it. The end. Well, that's where the normal part ends, anyway. See, everyone was high-fiving their aunties and grandmas over this, but I wasn't a fan. I'm not calling my auntie over this. I wasn't satisfied. And I'm not calling until I'm satisfied. It was here where I started to re-examine what I wanted this piece to be. Sure, expand the canvas. Maybe the answers you're seeking lie outside of the borders. There I go with the damn clouds again. If you don't get those wet-ass, Dr. Seuss-ass clouds out of my face, I will call an art teacher. I've got an idea. Erase the entire thing. Start over. What is the real heart of this story? Now, I put a lot of effort into my world building, but at the end of the day, the characters are the stars, and the absurdity is the nuclear fusion in their cores. Basically, what I'm saying is that I am going to be putting everyone in a tiny fishing boat, and then I'm going to sink it with everyone inside it. I know what you're thinking. Frey, you're a monster. Those are people in there. But you've neglected to consider the most important thing. They'll be fine. They can swim, who gives a shit? They survived a ship crash, one of many. They've been picked up by a local in a little boat. It's taking on some water, but all things considered, it's a pretty minor inconvenience. The kid, her name is Zafira, by the way, might have to build a new boat. Our intrepid posse of space cowboys might have wet pants. But so what? Time, like a boat, rows on. The universe is cold and uncaring, seemingly inhospitable to the very idea of life itself. But here we are, despite it all. Sometimes you have wet pants. Your ride breaks down. Regardless of what messes you find yourself in, you exist. Persist despite it all. And like the tide, time erodes those old wounds. This is what it's all about, what this story is all about. And look at the woman in the center, with the grin. Trixie is her name. She gets it. They all get it in their own way, and handle this existential query as individuals. But she is probably the most outward example of this concept. Isn't existence funny? To persist despite the circumstances. That act of passive defiance against the world manifests as a smile and a chuckle. Isn't it silly? Isn't it absurd? You'll persist. I named this piece Theater of the Absurd, together in a sinking ship. Of all my concept work until now, I think this one really got the point. I hope you like it. With nothing left but the hands, I posted it on Patreon. Everyone loved it, including me. Thank you so much to my space bounty hunters and mystery solvers over on the Patreon. No matter if you're in stable orbit or deep beyond the event horizon, I appreciate you all for making the development of this space western possible. If this story has piqued your curiosity, over on the Patreon is where I share my progress and development art. Thanks for watching. I'm Frey's Fortunes. All the best from the Western Expanse, and deep within the sea of noise.
Jelly Bean Power. Stick 'em anywhere. Collect all 5 sets.